a very warm welcome to the third session of Sprintex Boards 2020. And today we will be doing the very important chapter, Long Walk to Freedom. I hope you have already visited the Umang series related to the chapter where I had analyzed the complete chapter and explained all the important concepts over there. Right. So today we will have a thorough revision of the chapter where we are going to discuss the most important question answers which we can expect from this chapter. Right, so get set, go, and let us first talk about what are we going to discuss today. Extract based question for 1 mark, long answer type, value based for 5 marks, short answer type for 3 marks, and of course character sketch. Right, so let us begin with the session, but before that we will be discussing the schedule as well. Right, so this is the schedule for English which already had begun on 25th November. So it started from 25th November and it is going to end till it's going to continue till 15th December, right, with Bholi. And this is going to be taken up by me, your English master teacher Sweta Roy. And talking about the other subject schedule, physics, this is the schedule for physics, right? So again, beginning from 25th November, ending on 13th December. Talking about chemistry, it will commence from 26th November and it will end till 14th December. And math is going to start from 1st December and it will be ending at on 15th December. Talking about biology, it's going to start again from 27th November and it's going to continue till 15th December. And last but not least, we have our favorite SST, which is going to start from again 25th November and continue till 14th December. Right, so this is the schedule for all the subjects and I'm sure you are not going to miss out on any of the subject, right, on any of the chapter. And before beginning with this, guys, do not forget to hit the like button and share the video amongst your friends so that your friends can also prepare just as you are, right? So if you spread the knowledge, you are going to increase your own knowledge, right? So please don't forget to share and like and also subscribe to the channel. Right, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get the important notification on time, and of course subscribe to the channel. Starting with the homework answer, guys, look at the homework answer. This is a sample answer which I have prepared, but of course you can come up with your own innovative answer which will be definitely better than this, right? So this is just to give you a guideline. So let us read through the answer. Hatred is a predominant issue in today's world. Neighbor hates neighbor. A neighbor hates his neighbor. Brother hates his brother. None is willing to forgive each other and tolerate each other. As a result of hatred, we live in a very fragmented world. Fragmented is, broken into pieces, right? So this modern world is very fragmented because we have this, we have in us hatred for each other, right? And this hatred, we will be also talking about the same, feeling of hatred in the chapter that we are going to cover today, that is Nelson Mandela, right? So if hatred continues to rule our lives and world, then what will happen? Nothing will remain intact. All our achievement will perish because you have seen in history also why, whenever whenever any other king comes for ruling, or when any other may not, it's not always a king, any other party, ruling party, whoever is the ruling party, what happens to the other party which was previously there? He or she completely demolishes the other one, right? So what happens is, you have seen destruction of monuments, right? You have seen controversies related to monuments leading to demolition of certain monuments, right? So what is this? We are seeing that how hatred is gradually, what is it doing? It is, all our achievements, it's perishing all our achievements, right? So if we have to save the world, what do we have to do is we have to learn how to forget and forgive, right? And For this, what do we need? We need to have an enormous feeling of love, compassion. So again, talking about love, if you remember, Nelson Mandela also talked about love, which is a natural feeling, right? With which we are born. So it's a natural tendency of human being to love each other. But when we come in this world, we are ingrained, we are poisoned, right? We are poisoned by hatred, right? So hatred is something which is inculcated in us, ingrained in us artificially. But love is more natural. So if it is so easy to spread hatred, it will be even more easier to spread love because it comes more naturally. That is what Nelson Mandela also says, right? So what do we have to do is we have to spread love, right? We have to have compassion, and we have to tolerate the differences and get along each other, get along with each other. That is very, very, very important. We need to forget the differences, and we need to tolerate more, would be a better word. We need to tolerate differences, and we need to get along with each other. That is very, very, very important. So this was the homework answer. I hope you are absolutely clear with what exactly the question was asking and what you needed to answer. How you had to approach the answer. Right. So talking about today's session, we will begin with the session with a quote by our own Nelson Mandela, about whom, the famous personality about whom we are just now going to read. So he says, "A winner is a dreamer who never gives up." This is also quite motivating for each one of us. Don't you think so, guys? So we need to dream, right? We need to dream, and not only dream, but also never give up on that dream. So now you tell me in the chat box, what is your dream? Please let me know your dream, and how are you going to think about pursuing that dream and never to give up, right? So let us, and definitely you all will come out as winners if you strive, if you strive hard, never give up. If you have the quality of, perseverance, just like Nelson Mandela had. He had struggled so long, right? Long way, right? So that is what we also learn from this immensely powerful personality. So in the chat box, do let me know what is your dream and what do you think about it. How are you going to, achieve that, right? And now, talking about the first type of answer, that is the extract based question. Okay. So 10th May dawned. So this is taken from the very beginning of the chapter, right? 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. So this is absolutely the first, the very first portion of the chapter, right? The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of the international leaders of the South African soil. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Building in Pretoria. For decades, this has been the seat of white supremacy, and now it is the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors. Right? So long it was having what? White supremacy. So long whites were dominating, but now it is a site of rainbow gathering of different colors. Why do you think it is called as rainbow gathering of different colors? Because now not only you could see white people, but you could see also the blacks, right? So you could see colored people as well, securing the same respect as the whites had, right? And the nation for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. So when you are reading this in your examination center, you do not have to read the entire passage, because I told you that this is not an unseen passage. This is taken from your text. You need to be thorough with your text, right? So if you read, I don't think you would take more than this to understand, more than these three words to understand where from exactly, which portion is the extract being taken from, right? So that thorough you have to be with your text. That is how it will be really helpful for you. Talking about the first question, guys, sprint time is 2 minutes, right? when you are actually getting this question, to read it, to go through the options, you usually take 3 minutes, right? But our time, we will do it in 2 minutes. How? Let me show you how. Who were coming and for what before the inauguration? Both black and white people around the world, dignitaries and world leaders, people from Europe, all of the above. So quickly, within 2 minutes, I want your answers in the chat box. Right. So I hope you have already given the answer. That is dignitaries and world leaders. Right. So they were coming, and next question is, find out the word that means the same as commencement from the passage. So you have to find out the word which means commencement. Very simple. Only one word you had in the passage, right? But still you need to read all the options. Quickly glance through all the options and then select your correct answer, because you may get another synonym in the second option and the third option may say both A and B. In that case, if you only read the first option and mark your answer, you may go wrong. So please do not give that chance to yourself, right? So that is inauguration. Next is find the word from the passage which means an open space surrounded by a sloping land. Quickly, quickly, quickly. There is only one such word again. Very easy question. This is side supremacy, besieged or amphitheater. Of course, it is amphitheater, right? Okay. Moving ahead with the short type question. Who, according to Nelson Mandela, is a courageous man? This is a very important question. Very important question, right? And I think, as far as I remember, I think this also came up in your sample paper, if I'm not wrong, right? So you take usually 5 to 6 minutes to answer this in your papers, but in sprint we will have only 3 minutes to answer. So what do you think? Very simple question, just 2-mark question. We cannot take more than 3 minutes to answer this. So according to Mandela, courage is not absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That means overcoming the fear. So who is a courageous man? Therefore, courageous man is the one who does not feel afraid. No, he's not the one who does not feel afraid, but rather the one who feels afraid, but he conquers his fear, right? And actually, I had, when you, if you had watched the Umang series, I had given you a very simple trick to remember this answer. What was that simple trick? Do you remember, anybody? To remember this answer, I gave you a very simple trick. If you remember, then do let me know in the chat box. I told you about the television commercial, which was that. Now I gave you a hint. I think you will be able to answer. I told you about a very famous television commercial. Forgot? Okay. I told you about the Mountain Dew television ad. Okay. So remember this. क्या था इसका? What was the tagline? डर के आगे जीत है, डर सबको लगता है, गला सबका सूखता है. That was the ad, right? So that is what is the entire concept. That means everybody has fear, but one who overcomes the fear, he is the winner. डर के आगे जीत है. So one who conquers the fear, he is a brave man. Very simple way to remember this answer, right? Okay. So this is actually a hack. ठीक है, इसको लिख मत देना पेपर में, ठीक है? This is a hack. Moving ahead, what freedom meant to Mandela in childhood? So when he was a child, according to him, what was freedom? What is exactly freedom for you now? That was the same. It was the same for Mandela as well. Let us quickly check the answer. During his childhood, the meaning of freedom for Mandela was quite limited. Why? It was just limited to his personal freedom. So he considered it to be free to run in the fields, to swim in the clear stream, free to roast millies, and ride the board backs of slow moving bulls. So this is actually a text based answer, so you have to answer according to the text. For that, again, you have to be very thorough with the text. So he centered only on his personal freedom when it was his childhood. Okay, so before going further, guys, if you are enjoying the session, do tell me, do you want to join us and gain 100% knowledge and score 100% marks? Yes, unlimited live classes with fun and high level quizzes. What else? Compete with the students throughout the world. So how many are you? How many of you are so thrilled? How many of you are thrilled after looking at these amazing features? Do let me know in the chat box. Not only this, do you want to interact? Do you want an interactive replay? Do you want interactive replays with live quizzes and leaderboards? Premium downloadable content with handwritten notes of master teachers? Doesn't that sound amazing, guys? In class doubt solving with quality test and assignments? Free 5,000 plus micro courses and free crash courses for competitive exams. So do tell me how many of you are feeling boosted up by looking at these amazing features of our platform. Do let me know in the chat box. And how many of you are really wanting to get all this? So now talking about the price, lesser price, more classes. Does that sound interesting to you? How many of you are excited after hearing this? Do let me know in the chat box. So what do you need to do? Very simple thing. Just visit the link in the description box and pin comment. Use the coupon code SWRPRO. Talking about the price, guys, let's do the Tabahi math. Okay, so Spring Tech special offer we have from 25th November to 30th November where you get 50% off up to rupees 1500. Right, using the coupon code SWRPRO for which you save 50% for 1 month, guys. For 1 month subscription, you save 50%. That means you just have to pay 1349 for 1 month. For 3 months, you save 32 percentage, which makes it 5499, and for 6 months you have 9999. That is, you're saving 38%. Isn't that amazing, guys? So why to wait for? Just hurry up, and the offer is limited, guys, only up to 30th November. So do not miss this wonderful opportunity. And you see, it comes down to per class price rupees 6 for 1 month, rupees 9 for 3 months, and rupees 8 for 6 months. Right? So you can see that this is even cheaper than a packet of Lays. And you are getting unlimited live classes. Right? What else do you need? So quickly visit the link in the description box and pin comment and use the coupon code SWRPRO. Resuming our session, now next is describe the effect of the policy of apartheid on the people of South Africa, which is again a very important question. This can come for 3 marks. And now we will be getting to know the answer. But before I show you the answer, I want to know the points from you all, guys. What do you think about this answer? Okay, do mention in the chat box and let me show you now the solution to this question. The unfortunate policy of apartheid created distance and deep and lasting wound in the country and people from which it took the people from which it took a long time to recover. So the wound was so deep that people took a long time to recover from that wound. However, so this was the negative effect, but it also had a positive effect. Strangely, right? Ironical. What positive effect? Because it brought to light the purest diamonds among the blacks of South Africa, just as Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Yusuf Dadoo, Bram Fisher, who were imbued with extraordinary courage, wisdom, and generosity, thereby proving that depths of oppression creates heights of character. Right? So you see how this answer is, written in a crisp manner, because see, it's a just of 3 mark and we have to complete this within 8 minutes. So you cannot elongate your answer much. Right? But also notice that we haven't missed out a single point. So try to make your answer crisp without missing out on a single note. That is very important. Moving ahead to the fifth question. What is it? What does Nelson Mandela refer to as an extraordinary human disaster? So, what is The extraordinary human disaster, it is of course the policy of apartheid, but you have to talk about it in a detailed manner. So you have 10 minutes. Sprint time is 10 minutes. So let us do it. Okay. So Nelson Mandela refers to the apartheid policy of the white race against the black people as an extraordinary human disaster. So when your question is of 5 mark, you see you have to give a proper introduction as well, which is connected to the question. Okay, this becomes your introductory line. Okay, you need to give a proper introduction to your question, addressing the question, right? The black people were subjected to oppression for long. They were not even allowed to discharge their obligations to their own families, community, and their country. White people had no compassion for them, oppressed them, curtailed all kinds of freedom, and put them in prison. The blacks lived the life of a slave, okay, stripped of even their basic human rights, living like subhumans. Okay, I missed out the comma here. Do not miss out on any punctuation. Okay, so this is the correct answer, and this is how you need to approach this answer. Okay, guys, so now we move to the sixth question. Again, of 5 mark, for which you have again 10 minutes. That is the sprint time. Describe the value of freedom for human beings and how is it important for the growth of civilization and humanism as described in the lesson Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Read the question very carefully. Describe the value of freedom for human beings and how it is important, okay, for human beings and importance of freedom. That means basically you need to talk about the importance of freedom in the life of an individual, right? In the context of definitely Nelson Mandela, this chapter. So everybody, whether humans or other creatures, they love freedom. We all are lovers of freedom. Remember the COVID-19 lockdown time, how we were suffering because we were all locked up. We were not free, right? So everybody loves freedom, right? Whether it is human or any other individual, any other creature, right? The value of freedom is better known to that human being who has not tasted it till he gets it. For example, Nelson Mandela, who was stripped of his freedom. The blacks were stripped of his freedom. So just like Indians, they were also under the bondage of the British rule. So ask your, as I told you in the Umang series as well, that ask those people, ask your grandparents. Maybe they have seen the British rule, right? So they could tell you, they could actually, give you the real picture of that time, right? So for them, they understand what is the importance of freedom, right? A person who is chained within the limits and not allowed to perform the duties freely values freedom more than anyone else. For instance, the value of freedom is better known to Nelson Mandela, who himself was behind the bars for most of his life. So definitely, he understood the freedom, the value of freedom more than anyone else could. That is the answer to the question. Moving ahead, okay, sorry, it's not over yet. Thinking about a bird or an animal which is caged, as they have the habit of living with full freedom, but in the cage, they are not free, right? And their condition is pitiable. Similarly, life becomes a hell if we are deprived. If human beings are also, as I told you, look at the lockdown condition. There is no growth of civilization as it grows only when one has freedom. See, in case of, the South Africa, the other countries had completely outcasted South Africa because they were following a policy of apartheid, right? So therefore, there was no growth of civilization because South Africa was completely isolated, right? There was no international relation. Okay, so when we are deprived of freedom, this is the poor condition of our society, of our country as well. So humanism can grow only in the atmosphere of freedom. So freedom is very, very, very important. And everybody loves freedom, whether it is human beings or even an animal. Moving ahead with the seventh question, describe the obligations which the author is talking about and also describe his feelings for them. So just look at the obligations. Now you tell me guys, what are the obligations that Nelson Mandela talked about? He talked about two obligations, remember? Obligation towards First, family, then society, right? So that those are the two obligations that we are going to talk about. So remember these points: family, one, and then society. So these are the twin obligation. Okay, we will call that obligation, right? So quickly, I'll take you through the answer. In the chapter, the author has talked about two obligations, as I told you. The first obligation is towards his family, parents, his wife, children. The second is towards his community or the country. Being a social person, one has to fulfill all these obligations, both of these obligations, right? But being a black colored person, that means being a colored person, don't write black, being a colored person also means black, same. Okay, in South Africa, a man was not free to perform his obligation and got punished if he tried to do so, right? Being a child, the author never thought of such obligation, but after he did so, he fought for the people and the country to be free and enjoy their freedom of performing their duties, both personal and social. So that is why he struggled so long, right? So that all of them could enjoy their freedom, right? Not only personal but also social, because we believe that there are two, twin obligation that we need to follow. We need. Okay, talking about the last question for today, that is, Mandela was a true humanitarian. Here we will be analyzing the character of Mandela, right, in the light of the chapter that we have studied. So, quickly, let me take you through the answer. Now, Nelson Mandela was the black president. First of all, you have to say who is Nelson Mandela. Look at the answer very carefully. He was the black president of South Africa who, after more than 3 centuries of white rule, celebrated very vividly the grand ceremony of the first democratic non-racial government. Being sworn in, he said radiantly that never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. So he spoke against this supremacy of one race by another, supremacy of one race over another, right? He pays homage to the freedom fighters like Oliver Tambo, Yusuf Dadu, etc. Right? And he says that he is the sum of, sum total of, whatever they were. Right? So they were men of uncommon courage, wisdom, and generosity. So, paying tribute to them, he actually says that. He regards the death of thousands of people who sacrificed their lives for the cause of courage. It is, and he also says that it is not the absence of fear, but the victory over it, which makes a man courageous. I'm sorry, I missed here. Okay, which makes a man courageous. Okay. Right. He says that every man has his duty towards his family, community, and to his country to perform honestly. Thus, Nelson Mandela was the tallest of all black heroes who, despite suffering untold suffering in prison, was successful in installing the first democratically elected government in South Africa. So, this is actually the conclusion to your answer. So you see, whenever you get a 5-mark question, try to give an introductory statement and a conclusion to your answer as well. Right? That is going to make your answer much better. Right. So I guess now you are prepared with this chapter. The final revision of this chapter is over and you're prepared to actually rock your pre-boards, right? So we have discussed extract based question, long answer type question, short answer type question, as well as character sketch. And this is the question for homework, guys. What does Mandela mean to say that the oppressor and the oppressed alike are robbed of their humanity? Do let me know the answer in the comment section. Let me read your answers. Let me read your beautiful answers. Right? And guys, do not forget that we have already completed Dust of Snow and Fire and Ice. the previous day, in the previous session. I hope you have already watched that. If no, then please do have a look at that as well. And in the next session, we will be doing a tiger in the zoo and Amanda, which is going to be held on 28th November and at 1 p.m. So please be ready. Okay, before going, guys, do not forget to visit the link in the description box and pin comment. Use the coupon code SWRPRO to avail the discount. And don't forget to share this video amongst your friends as well, so that they are also prepared for to rock their pre-boards, right? So try and help as many people as you can, right? Then you will be a very good human being, right? So that is what we learn in literature. These are the values that we learn in literature, and we should also inculcate them in our lives as well. So please do share this amongst your friends, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified. So thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed the session. See you again in the next session. Take care. Bye bye.